is this inherent love that you have to have for the craft and for the people and for the story that you're telling. And so I think that's always been what has drawn me to the arts in general, is that you do have this, that you have to have other people with you. You have to have a group of people to help you make this beautiful thing that is going to be received by many people. And I think that's an aspect I've always loved about theater. I think everyone can agree there's this underlying anxiety of like, how do I adjust in this apparent new way of living for this thing that's not going away?
I also kind of felt as if everything was going to be okay. I was like, oh, it'll end soon. It'll be over, before we know it, and we'll be right back. And I'm probably more concerned now than at the beginning. So now it's a little bit like, well, are we ever going to get back?
It's important to recognize that a lot of our theater and fellow thespians are struggling, and I certainly want them to know that they're not alone, and there's other ways that we can certainly explore our creativity and still stay connected. We might as well learn to adapt because we really have no choice.
I mean, theaters, for the most part, haven't fully opened. So I'm a graduating senior, so it's a little scary to think if I'll get a job or not, if they can open or not. But the way we're doing this here seems very safe and good, and maybe like a good step forward to theater.
When we first started with A View from the Bridge, and we did this kind of rough draft, if you will, of we're going to try out a little bit of audio and act out to it, all of us were like, oh, this is really weird. This does not feel right. It helped a lot to know that we were all in the same boat and we were all taking each other's lives extremely seriously. And it made it a lot easier to feel safe around each other.
I have to focus where I put intention and how I use my voice versus how I use my body. You have to be more aware that how I talk is more important. So it's knowing how to talk, to use your voice and your words to do the thing that you would do with your body.
I was really nervous that, something wasn't going to go right, but it ended up becoming extremely natural. And I think as far as my acting style, I think the only thing that may have changed is I'm a bit bigger in my body. And that has been really cool to find where a lot of my acting choices sit in my body very naturally. Because I think a lot of people coming to see the show had this idea of like, oh, this is going to be weird. And everyone says the same thing, is they completely forget. And it's the same with the actors, is we kind of forget that we aren't speaking.
It's difficult, but it's not the worst. It's a great thing that we have. It's a great alternative. And I'm very grateful for it, as should anybody, that we can just keep rehearsing and even being able to do theater during this time. So it's good stuff. Kind of miss the old way, but if I'm going to keep doing it like this, that's how it's going to be for now. So
there is that part of me that wants things to go back to normal and go back to live theater where we get to use everything that we have. But there's also the part of me that has really liked this little niche that we've found. And I think, there'll probably be some sort of mishmashed version, however this all turns out. I think right now I'm just kind of happy that we have found a way to keep working during all of this. And I think eventually things will go back to how they were, but I think it'll be a while.
I certainly hope that this upcoming season will be not only successful, but will bring in new faces. I think theater can certainly bring a lot more awareness that there's such amazing local talent that needs to be seen.
I hope that we can continue to do some really cool new works, and I can maybe be a part of some of them and see some of them, and that we are able to do some things we haven't been able to do in person. Theater gives a sense of hope that it can't be canceled. If we're still doing it now, then like it's gonna last forever, and that we're gonna come back resilient.
For me, theater is, God, this might sound so pretentious, and I don't mean it to. The theater is living. That's such an artist thing to say. But it really is, and I think that's partly what makes this space so special. Is it's coming together and creating something.
I think we can certainly make some connections through film and in live, local theater, of course. But there's a deeper connection because for one moment, or maybe for an hour or so, you are reminded that you are also human. It's safe to react and be in moments that you may feel like you're hitting rock bottom. But there's always moments also where you can succeed and you can shine just like any other individual in this world, in this lifetime.
Theater is a reflection of us, of people, society. It's not what it used to be, but what it is like I mean, there's a reason why it's called community theater, and it's because the community comes together, makes plays, does things that they feel are relevant. So that's what I think theater is.